Hello, welcome to the Sedona Community Forum. I'm Linda Shook, Associate Dean of the Sedona Center and Director of OLLI, the Osher Lifelong Learning Institute here at Yavapai College in Sedona and Verde Valley. This program is sponsored by the Lifelong Learning Division of Yavapai College.
And I'm Paul Friedman, an OLLI volunteer. We're co-hosting this spring term online sessions of the Sedona Community Forum. In these programs, we hear from and interact with local leaders whose work is especially helping our community respond to this pandemic.
Our aim today is to provide an insider's view or a backstage look at what local leaders are doing during these very unusual times.
Our guest of honor for this program is Cathleen Healy-Baiza, Director. Correct me if I'm wrong. How do you pronounce your last name, Kathleen?
You're correct. It's Healy-Baiza. You're correct.
Healy-Baiza, Director of the Sedona Community Foodbank. Her team enlists volunteers to provide food and other forms of assistance to local residents in need. This week, they provided food supplies to about 200 families who are food insecure. Kathleen, would you give us a picture of how the food bank usually operates and how social distancing has affected the delivery of your services?
Well, we have 3 programs that we do throughout the year. One of them is our Wednesday distribution, and we're open from 8:30 to 12, and then again from 3:30 to 5:30. And then we also have an emergency food pack for hungry children, children that are food insecure. They often call it the backpack program. We run that weekly. And then we have a program which we deliver shelf-stable items to seniors, homebound seniors that are at their home, and that we do once a month. And so those are our main programs. We also...
Getting a phone call?
I'm so distracted by the phone, I'm so sorry. But anyways, and then we also help with a Monday night supper at St. Andrews, that type of thing. Prior numbers were, during the week, we would, on our Wednesday distribution, we often served, depending on the season, between 150, 160 to about 170 families. That's who we would see on a Wednesday, okay? They would come in, they would shop, it'd be like a grocery store. I have a table down the center that looks like a farmer's market. It is amazing. We are so committed to healthy eating, offering fresh produce, all that type of thing. And then we had our backpack program where we would pack these emergency food packs every Thursday morning, then deliver them to the school. We did 75 packs a week. And then we have our homebound program, which is once a month, and we serve probably about 55 seniors. Now, BC, before COVID, those were my numbers. My numbers have now exploded. Last week, my Wednesday distribution, you're correct. It was 200 families. Of those 200 families, 20 of them were new. And then yesterday, I just finished my final numbers. I saw 185 families, 17 of them were new. My backpack program has gone from 75 to 125. And then my homebound program has remained the same. It's still my same 55 people. So that's just a taking a look out of our numbers on how we've just taken that major increase. And then remember I said on our Wednesday morning distribution, it was like a shopping experience. People would come in. When this first started to come about and we were really looking at social distancing, instead of me opening my doors up on a Wednesday morning, which is often like a Black Friday, people would come rushing in, I started to limit it down to 8 clients at a time, and I would just have to make the other ones wait outside. And so we would only allow 8 people in. We gave them 10 minutes to shop, and then they would be gone out another door, okay? That did not work at all because between our volunteers and then the 8 clients, and we're really cramped for space, we still felt that that was unsafe. So now we moved to a drive-through model which we've been doing for the last 5 weeks. And there we've really minimized our contact, which keeps people safe. But on the other hand, a lot of these people really looked at the food bank as like a social thing. We know them. We know about their children. We know about what their favorite things are, where they're going, how they're doing. And we can't have that interaction now. So I want my people to be safe. I want my volunteers to be safe, but I also miss my people. I like to know how they're doing. And now they're coming in at our top driveway. Our driveway is sort of like a big horseshoe. They come in at the top. We check them in. We write down their ticket. We don't even give them their ticket. We put it on their windshield wiper. They drive around, and then they come down at the bottom, and we have a table there. They pop their hood. We load their items into the trunk of their car, not their hood, their trunk. We load them into the back of their car. Their produce, there's no shopping anymore. We hand them a prepackaged bag of produce, a prepackaged bag of food, and we send them on their way. Top to bottom, it's maybe about a 6-minute thing, where before people would come in here, depending on how they felt and how much they wanted to interact. Sometimes I had people here for like an hour and 15 minutes, because it was really their only social time. So that social hour is gone, but I'm keeping them fed, and I hope I'm keeping them safe. All of my volunteers are wearing masks. They're all wearing gloves. We're sanitizing everything. Like, I come into the food bank now, I've got these like disinfectant wipes. I'm wiping down every handle. I'm cleaning out our van. It's a 25-minute process before I even sit down to my desk. And I try and start every day clean. So there's been additional things that we do, but I want to ensure everyone's safety. I feel really responsible for my volunteers, and I feel responsible for my clients. So there's been a lot of changes, if that gives you kind of an idea.
Yes, it does. Thank you. And as you described the precautions you need to take and the changes you've had to make, let me ask you, as you go through the process, whether that disruption has hindered or obstructed what you're trying to do. For example, you have more clients than ever before. Do you have enough food for them? Do you have, is the supply coming in? And you've changed the nature of the food you're giving out. Have you been able to make that adaptation so that you can acquire more of the kind of thing that you can package in the way you're describing?
So good questions. Yes, we did have to make, not only was the model of our distribution changed, but the amount of food that we gave. Because I normally am able to order food from Fry's and from Bash's and from all our local stores around here. That supply chain dried up. As we all know, we were shopping in stores ourselves at the end of March and April. And even to this day, you still won't find rice and pasta and some items. So if you can't get them, I couldn't get them. So the first thing that we did was, for example, if you were a one-person family or one person, you would get a bag of shelf-stable items, which before all this would have probably between 18 and 20 items in there by the time you put eggs and butter and all that other stuff. We immediately brought that one-person bag. Now it's a 1 to 2 person bag. There's only 10 items in it. And then for a family of, let's say 5, you would normally get a box and would have like 35 shelf-stable items. And by the time, again, you're putting in your butter and your milk and eggs and all of that and yogurts, you would have probably about 45 items in there. Well, now that bag is down to 15 items. So we've really had to cut back on what we were distributing, because I took a look at what we had in our inventory here at the food bank and at the warehouse, and based on all my resources drying up, I had to pull back immediately, because I would have been without food by the 2nd week in April. But I have to tell you, we have a very giving community. Oh my goodness. Sedona Women has started a really huge push in helping us. So their members are coming every Tuesday with bags that are filled with food, quality food, all prepackaged for us. They're dropping them off. They're doing that. The Quicker Cleaner Car Wash on 89A, they have really taken us into their heart. Not only are they getting cash donations, but they're getting food donations. I have had numerous monetary donations. While people are afraid to go out and shop, they're sending money, which is really wonderful, because when I'm able to order, I will be able to hopefully restock my shelves. But with all these donations coming in, I have been able to at least continue to give people food. Have I increased the amount? I'm a little gun shy on that right now, because each week my numbers are getting bigger and bigger, and I don't know what point we're going to level off. And I don't expect this problem to go away anytime soon. I would think it's going to take people months to recover from not having pay for the last 7 to 8 weeks. I anticipate this going through to the fall. So, and then there's another big, huge food drive. It's the postal carrier one called Stamp Out Hunger. Because of this, COVID-19, they didn't want to do that big, huge food drive. That food drive normally happens on the Saturday before Mother's Day, and it involves all of our residents here. And what they do is they put donations in their mailbox, and then the mail carriers, and I send out volunteers to go out there and pick it up. Generally, we get about 14,000 pounds of food, which is a lot of food, with maybe only about a 15% waste. That whole food drive is not happening. So that's, yeah, but I understand. I understand. But on the other hand, bottom line, it does affect what I get. So
sure it does. Gosh, that's I'm sure that there's a great deal of pressure, and as I understand it, there's increasing numbers of unemployed, and so you're filling an important need. The way you describe the pickup as a drive-through now, that requires ownership of a car. I'm sure that some of your clients don't have vehicles, and are those your stay-at-home? What is the home delivery aspect of your service?
The home delivery is our homebound clients, and these are clients that are at home not because they don't have a car, because physically they have health issues and they can't get out. They are often your Meals on Wheels clients, and they also use the Verde Valley caregivers because they cannot have transportation. I don't want to sound rude, but it's not really a click and shop like you don't want to go out. These are people that physically can't get out. But the drive-through model, you are correct. Most of my clients do have cars, and they feel a whole lot safer not getting out of our car. But I do have some people that come on foot, and those tend to be our homeless population. So what we do is we check them in, and then we point them in the direction, and they go down to the table. And I have people that come in bikes, not like motorcycle bikes, like pedal bikes, and they just go directly down there. But we're not on the inside of the food bank. And again, there is really little to no interaction. They're not picking out their produce. We're not hand-picking their bag. We're just handing them a bag of both, and we're sending them on their way. So we're able to help them, but it's not in a car, yeah.
How, in facilitating this whole process is a very dedicated group of volunteers.
Yes.
Have you, I know my wife volunteers there usually, but she's been reluctant given our age and vulnerability. Have you lost some of your volunteers temporarily during this period? Does this new system require more hands on deck or fewer, or how has the labor that you rely on held up?
Well, we did lose our volunteers. I would say not all of them, probably 50% of my volunteers. They're wonderful people. You have to first of all understand that people that are willing to give of their time with no exchange of money, and they feel more responsible for what they're doing, you can't get that from a paid employee. So right away they were like, Kathy, I can't come. I'm really I understand this is a very scary time. I don't want them in here. I don't want them to be compromised. I don't want them to feel unsafe. I completely understand. But bottom line, I probably lost 50% of my volunteers. But the 50% that have hung on with me, I have a few volunteers that often would volunteer maybe once or twice a week. Some of them are here now 4 times a week. So I worry about them because I don't want to burn them out. Without my volunteers, I couldn't do what I do. I was really concerned yesterday with the heat because as we're doing that drive-through model, the staff of people that were here in the morning, we started distributing at 7:30 in the morning, and they were there till 12. When they came up, they looked like wilted flowers. Even though I have shade for them, I'm providing them water, just the radiation of the heat with the black top and all those engines running, I worry about the heat. Now that the heat is coming while everyone's happy about it, I'm really worried about my volunteers because yesterday when we were out distributing in the afternoon, it was 93 degrees. So I do worry about my volunteers. Is it requiring more people? No, but it is requiring them to have a different job title or a different job description. I've just reorganized them. Like I have 2 people in the front now that are greeting the people coming in. I have someone to direct the traffic at the top of our loop. I have 4 to 5 people there. So we've just kind of rearranged people. It's probably taking the same amount of people, but the ones I worry about are my ones that are outside, especially with this heat. And I don't think I can open up and have everyone start coming in, within the next couple weeks. I don't want to compromise their safety. So I might need new volunteers or more volunteers and run it as a shift. And that's where I'm also worried to bring in new volunteers. I know people want to come in and help, and that is wonderful. But I don't want to say, but I do want to say, we've been kind of like in this little bubble. All of my volunteers, we've been together through all of this, and not that we don't want to bring someone new in. I don't want to bring in someone new that I don't know where they've been. And we've all been relatively safe. And my worry is if I bring someone new in where I don't know where they've been, have they been traveling? Where are they? See the volunteers I have right now? We've all been really safe. No one's really been ill. We've only had 1 person that was sick. That was it. No one else has been sick. So we have sort of like this little protective bubble, and I'm going to need new volunteers because I'm really worried about my people that are outside, especially for these next 3 to 4 weeks in May when that heat does not look like it's going to go away. So.
Yes. The purpose of this call is to give people a window into an aspect of our community that's very important, but which they don't have the opportunity to access any other way. And to give you a chance, if this particular period is trying, is demanding in some way, to let us know how we can be of assistance. So what would you like viewers to contribute, and how would they go about doing that?
Okay, please continue to bring your food donations. And the reason why I'm saying that is, for example, I ordered at Fry's this week. They were able to do part of my order. Can't get brown rice, can't get white rice, couldn't get any crunchy peanut butter. There are still holes that the stores are seeing. So while people are bringing me in the food donations, they might be able to pick up 2 or 3 pounds of brown rice, where when I'm ordering 200 pounds of it, it's not possible. So continue to bring in your food donations. And I know that people are concerned about interacting. You don't even have to get out of your car. Call me up when you arrive. Hey, I've got a donation. Pop your trunk. Me or one of my volunteers will run out there and grab it and we'll bring it on in. I have a barrel near our back door because we're located on the lower level of Seventh-day Adventist Church, which is on Sunset. Drop your donations off in that barrel. Then you don't even have to speak to us. And you can remain safe. And that barrel is there and it's protected. It's got a lid and everything. And there's someone at that. We empty out that barrel almost on a daily basis. So even though we might not be here, if you don't want to, call us, put it in the barrel, bring that by. And as far as volunteers, please do fill out an application. But I do have some applications and I think I'm going to have to start reaching out to people and I have to find out if they're willing to be outside for a few hours and that type of thing, because I am going to have to start working some kind of a rotation for my people that are outside on a Wednesday. It's hot. And to ask someone to be out there, when I saw, like, for example, Carol and Paul yesterday morning, when they came in at 12 o'clock, honestly, they were whipped. So right there was my first wake-up call. These people can't do 5 hours out there in the heat. So I'm going to have to bring in a second shift. And there's where I need people, even if someone could volunteer a couple hours, that type of thing. Yes.
So if people are willing to contribute food or funds,
yes,
or volunteer hours, they would go to your website.
Yes.
Or do you want to would you give us your phone number
Yes.
so they also can call?
Great. My telephone number here at the food bank is 928-204-2808, or go to our website, which is Sedona Food Bank or sedonacommunityfoodbank.org. You can go on there. There's applications for volunteering. There's also a donate button, and you go under PayPal, and you can choose your credit card, and then you donate, or you can mail us a check to our P.O. Box 3962, Sedona at 86340. You can mail in a check donation, or you can drop by food.
Oh, wonderful. Well, it's clear that you're providing a very valuable service, and it's the community around you that is chipping in is, we're very grateful to everyone there too. And the more the people who contribute, the wider the effort can be spread.
Yes.
So I want to thank you so much today, Cathleen Healy-Baiza, Director of the Sedona Community Food Bank, for sharing with us your adventure in providing life-sustaining services over the past couple of months, and before and in the future. We're very grateful for the frank and thoughtful glimpses you've given us into how your organization is responding to the challenges we face.
Thank you.
You bet. It's been great speaking with you.
Thank you for having me.
Bye.